Hey, what's up, champions? How you guys doing? Happy Saturday. Gediminas here. If you're watching a replay of this, please do me a massive favor and stick a hashtag replay into the comments. And if you're brand new, if you're watching one of my videos for the first time, I'd really appreciate if you said new in the comments as well. Okay, so I've got an interesting thing I want to share with you. 10 habits of a multi-millionaire. So I saw a guy called Grant Cardone share this, and Grant Cardone is currently worth about $300 million. So a guy knows a thing or two about success if he's worth $300 million. Would you agree? So these are the 10 habits that he shared, and because I can relate to so many of those habits, I wanted to share them with you as well, guys, today. And maybe you will find them valuable too, and maybe some of your team members will find these habits valuable, because at the end of the day, success leaves clues. People don't become successful or wealthy by mistake. Usually, people will become successful and wealthy on purpose. So they are doing something that most unsuccessful people, that most people who are not making the money are not doing. So today I wanted to share those 10 habits with you, and hopefully you'll find them useful and you'll be able to use them in your life and your business. Hey Irina, hey Ted, hey Michelle, how are you guys doing? Okay, so success habit number 1 is take action immediately. So if it's worth doing, do it right away. Hey Diana. So you see, like Jim Rohn used to say, good ideas are like mining for gold. Rarely does a good idea interrupt you. So when you get a good idea, or when you know that there's something that you could do that would be worth, that means you could make you money, or it would be worth for your family or your other areas of life, you need to do it immediately. Don't procrastinate, because the more you're putting something off, the less likely you are to do that thing. So take action immediately, because otherwise there's a law of diminishing intent. The longer it passes, the more time goes by, the less likely you are to do that activity or to do that particular thing. So that's success habit number 1. Hey Mattia, hey Rita, how are you guys doing? Success habit number 2 is hit targets. Hit targets. So never reduce a target, and do whatever it is necessary to achieve it. So number 1, in order for you to hit targets, you have to have targets, right? Grant doesn't even talk about it because that's like a common sense. But guess what? There's so many people that I've coached in business who don't have goals, who don't have targets. They don't actually sit down and write down and even think about, what is it that I'd like to achieve? How much money would I like to make? What sort of, how many team members would I like to build? And so on and so on and so on. So number 1, you need to have targets, but then you need to hit those targets. Don't reduce your targets. Don't reduce your goals. Instead, think, what can I do in order to hit it? What can I do to make it happen? Instead of going, oh, why am I so unsuccessful? Why does it not work for me? Instead, ask yourself, how could it work? What could I do to make it happen? You know what I mean? So that's success habit number 2. Success habit number 3 is keep statistics on vitals. Keep statistics on vitals, right? So if it's important, measure it. And I remember one guy, Ralph Paul, he said, if you don't know your numbers, you don't know your business. So again, if I went to a local grocery store around the corner and I asked them, how many cans of baked beans have you sold last month? They could tell me exact number. Guess why? Because they track the numbers. They know exactly what's happening in their business. But again, very often if I speak to a network marketer, to somebody who has a home-based business, and I say, well, how many people have you prospected last month? Well, maybe roughly, they don't know, because they're not tracking those numbers. If I ask them, well, how many active team members did you have last month? I don't know. You know what I mean? So if you want your business to work as a business, you need to start treating it as a business. So start tracking these things. How many people in your team have placed their orders last month? How many people have placed their orders this month? How many people have recruited somebody? How many new team members do you have? How much points turnover have you? And so on, right? So you know what's happening in your business. You can tell whether this month is better than the last month or if it's worse than last month and what's happening. Right? So are you tracking the statistics? Are you tracking the vitals? Are you tracking your numbers in your business? Rule number 4 is 80-20 rule. 80-20 rule, or also it's called Pareto principle. So 20% has to pay for the 80% that doesn't, right? So the 80-20 rule applies in everything. Like 20% of your team members will do 80% of the work in your business. And the rest of the 80% of people will only do 20%. It just works that way. Like supermarkets knows it. If you go in a supermarket, they know that 20% of the stuff they sell will make 80% of the profit, and everything else, the rest of the 80%, is just taking up the space on the shelves. That's why when you go in a supermarket, at your eye level, you see the best-selling stuff. And stuff that doesn't sell goes down or up where you don't look, right? Because the supermarkets know that and they use that. So you also have to use that in your business and understand that 20% of the things that you do in your business will have an 80% impact on your money and on how the business will grow. And the rest of the stuff is not that important. So you have to think, what are the most important things in my business? And in network marketing, it's really 3 things. First, is you talking to somebody who can say yes and buy your product. 2 is when you're talking to somebody who can say yes and join your business. And 3 is you helping your team members sell products or recruit other people. That's it. That's the income producing activity that will amount for 80% or more of results in your business. So if you know that, you can then focus more of your time for the right things, right? So that's also super, super important. Number 5, make decisions quickly. Make decisions quickly. So yes or no, not a maybe. And exactly the same way, you need to get decisions quickly. So when you're doing a presentation, the worst thing you can get from somebody is a maybe, is I need to think about it. You don't want to get those, right? Because they say yes is okay, no is okay, but maybes kill the babies, right? What does it mean? It means that maybe can really fake you out in business. So if you go and do 5 presentations today and all 5 people say, well, I'll think about it, maybe we will join your team. You go home, you go, oh my God, it's so exciting. I've got 5 people thinking about it. One day they're going to join. No, they're not. They're not joining your business. They just told you maybe as a polite way to say no, to get rid of you. But that fakes you out. That gets you into an attitude where you think, whoa, I've got 20 people just waiting to join the business. And that creates an illusion of productivity. It creates an illusion of progress where in reality there isn't any. So you want to get the decision from a person, whether it's a yes or a no. It's fine. If a person goes, hey, this is not for me, no, I'm not ready, totally cool. But at least then you know that, okay, I spoke to 10 people, I've got 2. Instead of going, I spoke to 10 people, 2 joined, but another 8 are thinking about it, and one day they're going to join. No. They won't. Trust me, right? And yourself, you need to be able to make decisions fast, especially when it comes to those things that you're a bit uncomfortable with. You know, so like prospecting. For example, you know that you need to be prospecting people, which basically is just a fancy way is to say talking to people, right? So there will be many opportunities when you have a chance to start talking with somebody, to start a conversation with somebody, but you back out, but you stop yourself. So one of the great rules is the 5-second rule, where whenever you're faced with an opportunity, where you know if you started that conversation, if you approach that person, it could give you a positive results in business, then you use the 5-second rule. In your mind, you just go 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go. And you go and do that. You understand what I'm saying? So it's like a launching yourself. So you make that decision quickly to act and use that opportunity because it might not come up again, right? Number 6 is beat the sun up. Beat the sun up. What does it mean? It means get up earlier. It means get up earlier. You know, if you got up, 4 o'clock in the morning and walk around your area where you live, I tell you, you're going to see some cars that you've never seen in your area. You'll see some really nice cars. You're going to see some expensive cars. But why don't you see them later on in the day? Because by the time you get up, those guys are already chasing their dreams. Those guys are already building their businesses. Those guys are already in action. And you're just waking up. You know what I mean? So get in a habit of getting up earlier and getting into action, right? Because, getting up earlier, it makes your day longer. It gives you more time to do things. It gives you a better way to prepare for your day success. So beat the sun up. Get up earlier. Get up an hour earlier and see what that does with your time, what it does with your day, how much more you can achieve, how much more you can do. Number 7 is repeat successful actions, right? So double down on what worked. And it's crazy, I know, but so many people do that. Even big companies do that. Like big companies will release an advertisement and it works. Like they put the advertisement on television or on radio and it works. People are buying, people doing. And the company next month will go, okay, so now we need to make a new advertisement. Why? If the other one's working, keep using it. And how long should you use it? Until it stops working. So same in your business. Don't just keep reinventing the wheel every single month. If you do something that's worked, then go back to the thing that worked. And if right now what you're doing is not working, think about, what did I do in the past that worked? What did I do in the past that gave me results? And go back to doing those things that actually worked, right? Because so many people, I've met great people face to face. In network marketing, face to face, they're awesome. They're really easy to talk to people. They start conversations really fast. And they're recruiting people very well, face to face, doing, one-to-one appointments, coffee meetings, etc. They're doing an awesome job. And then they hear, oh, there's some people building business through social media. So they stop doing what's working. And then they go and try to figure out social media, which they haven't got a clue in. And then they stop getting results. And then they go, oh my gosh, I'm so frustrated. Well, why are you? Do the thing that's working for you and try the other thing on the side. And if it's going to start working, if it's going to pick up, cool. But if it doesn't, no worries, because you're still doing the one thing you're good at, the one thing that's working for you. You know what I mean? So repeat successful actions. Number 8 is cut out the nonsense. So remove the activities that don't reward you, or that can't reward you, right? So again, if you're really passionate and if you really have big ambitious goals in business, right? You want to achieve high rank, maybe you want to get to really high income, etc. You want to be recognized, you want to impact hundreds, maybe thousands of people, etc. Right? So let's say you have these big goals. Then guess what? You can't, I loved how Jim Carrey said, you can't visualize big things and then go eat a sandwich. You need to do something about it. You need to act on it, right? So one other thing about it is, if you have, small goals, then totally cool. Watch your Netflix, do your thing and, whatever, hang out with the guys in a bar and drink your beer, and still you're going to do your small things as well. But if you have huge goals, guess what? Some things must go out of your time. Some things must go out of your schedule. Some people, unfortunately, will have to go out of your friends list if you want to achieve big things, if you want to achieve big results. So you have, everybody has the same 24 hours in a day. The richest person in the world and the poorest person in the world. The difference is how they use that time. So if you have huge goals, guess what? You're going to have to make time. And you make time by cutting out the nonsense, by cutting out things that don't serve you, by cutting out things that waste your time. There's a thing called EIR, Electronic Income Reducer. You know what that is? That's your television. Your television is electronic income reducer, because a lot of people spend a lot of time in front of the television and their television is costing them money every single day, every single week, every single month, because they could have been using that time to build a business, to find another team member, to find another customer. You know what I mean? So again, you need to cut out the nonsense from your day. Number 9 is acknowledge strangers. And I know that might sound weird because you've been brought up with stranger danger. Don't talk to strangers, right? Well, that was when you were a kid, right? You grew up now, so life changes. Now, if you want to become super successful and super wealthy, you want to get into a habit of acknowledging strangers. So go out of your way to acknowledge someone you don't know. What does it mean, acknowledge? Compliment them. Tell them how great they are at what they're doing. Tell them how awesome they look. Tell them how great their personality is. Tell them how amazing their smile is, and so on and so on and so on. Go out of your way to build new relationships, to look for new friends. And the easiest ways to do that is to compliment people. So find something genuine to compliment everybody you meet. So everybody you meet on a daily basis, find a way how to compliment them. Find a way how to say something nice to them, right? Leave every person that you get in contact with better off than before they met you. How would that be? Imagine what sort of person would you become if you left every person better off, in a better mood, more believing in themselves, etc., than before they met you. Do you think you would attract some people to you? Do you think some people would love to do business with you? Absolutely. So get in a habit of complimenting people, of spreading this joy and light, being that person who walks in the room and everybody goes, oh my gosh, that person is here. How amazing, right? Be that person that everybody wants you at their event. Everybody wants you at their party. Everybody wants you at their presentation because you're such a great person. You're such a joy to be around, right? And you can develop that. And the last habit for successful people, number 10, is be courageous. Be courageous. So practice courageous act daily. So do something that you're scared of. Do something that you feel uncomfortable with every single day. And it'll become less and less and less fearful, less and less out of your comfort zone. So these are the 10 habits from the multi-millionaire Grant Cardone, who is worth over $300 million. Now, tomorrow, guys, I'm doing a special webinar where I'll be sharing what we've learned at the event that we attended in Las Vegas, the most powerful event, most powerful women in network marketing event. I did about half of it last week. And this week I'm going to do the second half. So if you'd like to attend that free training, jump on to titaniumsuccess.co.uk/webinar and you'll be able to register for that webinar tomorrow evening, 8 p.m. UK time. Okay? So if you'd like to attend that, hop on that. Have an awesome evening, guys. Love you loads. Bye for now.